Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are here with the first Star Wars review in a long time. We're reviewing the first three episodes of The Bad Batch Season 3. These are entitled Confined, Paths Unknown, and Shadows of Tantus. There are spoilers, of course, for those three episodes, so if you have not watched them yet, I highly recommend you do. So, first off, just want to mention that The Bad Batch is has been pretty decent Star Wars storytelling so far. This isn't peak, I wouldn't say, but it's up there. My favorite Bad Batcher, Tech, died in the season 2 finale, so I do wonder if he's really gone. There's no mention of him other than in a past context in these episodes, so I don't know. I do love episode 3, which is Shadows of Tantus, in terms of it being very high action. It's very high paced, and I really love that. Episode 2 sort of acts as an interlude. It's very interesting to see what the remaining two members, Hunter and Wrecker of the Bad Batch, are doing. I also like that we get our first look at that guy whose horn got cut off in season 1. I don't remember his name. I don't remember his species either. But he's sort of part of the criminal organization, and so Hunter and Wrecker are actually working for him as mercenaries to try to get some hints on like a data pad they're going to collect in this is all in episode 2, by the way. I'm going to kind of act as if these are all just one continuous episode and kind of go back and forth, so I apologize. Confined and Shadows in particular could have been a two-part premiere by itself. I don't feel like those needed to be separated by the little interlude of episode 2. I think that it could have been the first episode's premiere, and then we premiere this one next week. So maybe it's possible that this is going to conflict with other series, and so they're trying to get it out a little bit faster. That's really the only thing I can think of. I do love the tie-in to Mandalorian in Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Specifically with Episode 9, it's going to need further context. The movie was sort of panned by critics because of its lack of connectivity,
Somehow Palpatine
and I
returned.
think it's nice that they're sort of rectifying the mistake through The Bad Batch. I personally enjoy Episode 9. I think that it's solid entry, but I understand why people don't love it as much. Project Necromancer, of course, is what we're talking about here with the cloning of Emperor Palpatine. We know that it's still going on in The Mandalorian. I didn't watch season 3, but I promise you I will. Um, I will watch it at some point. And Project Necromancer, of course, is this idea that Palpatine needs to be cloned in order to keep the Empire going. They're working on it in Bad Batch season 3. Omega is the key to all this. That makes sense. But I think in her blood, she has like midichlorians that allow her to be a clone of help make a clone of Palpatine. We'll see if that ends up happening or not. The animation, of course, it's chill as always. This is the simple style that we've always seen with the Clone Wars and Bad Batch. It's very typical. The pacing's a little too long. I've noticed this throughout all the Bad Batch episodes, but they're always about 30 minutes. They should really bring it back down to 22 like they did with Clone Wars. That was a really nice length for episodes, and they should keep it that way. I love that Crosshair finally learns to love his sister and brothers in a way sort of unknown to him. He's never found the ability to really love his sister and his brothers, and now he's really able to. And I enjoy that sort of character development from Crosshair. I know it feels almost undeserved because of how little we've seen him over the past couple seasons, but I love that he's finally starting to change. It's never too late to come back. And this is also a theme that is sort of explored in the sequel trilogy, where like Kylo's sort of struggling to come back to the light, and he's able to after much issues. Of course, Darth Vader goes through the same sort of arc. So I love that this happens, and obviously Crosshair is a little bit of a lesser example because he didn't really fully turn to any super grim, dark place, but he was definitely like an enemy of the Bad Batch, and now he sort of is back to being an ally and part of the Bad Batch again. I also love that we see the clone cadets from the first season. I love the idea of them not needing to be soldiers anymore, and sort of being able to fit in their own make their own path for themselves. I really enjoyed that aspect of episode 2 specifically. These cadets, we actually see them in the first season because they're being shipped off from Camino because they're not making clones anymore. They're not training clones anymore. So these kids are kind of left stranded, and it's nice that we learn that they're kind of. I mean, most of them are dead, unfortunately, but a couple still survive, and I love that they're able to now forge their own path because of how much the Bad Batch has been working with Rex and other clone veterans to try to stop the Empire from taking advantage of the clones. There's no Echo yet either, but there is a small reference to what he's doing with Rex right now. I think that that should actually be a series in and of itself. That should be the next thing they work on is a Rex and Echo spinoff, maybe just like a limited series, like 6 to 10 episodes of them sort of doing stuff in between Bad Batch season 2 and season 3. I'd love to see that. He kind of just leaves them, and I don't know if this is adapted elsewhere. Maybe there's a comic that's already adapted into, in which case, obviously, ignore what I'm saying right now. But I just think that could be a series that you could do with the same animation style while you're waiting for like another story to kind of pop into your head. I feel like that would be a good thing to pass the time. All in all, I'm gonna give Confined a 7. Um, Mostly because it's sort of setting up things, and whenever an episode does that, it's never going to be as good. Half Unknown's also going to be a 7 because it feels like an unnecessary interlude between the two. It's interesting. It's just kind of unnecessary. And then I'm going to give Shadows of Tantus an 8.5 because the action is really, really well done, and it's a awesome plot. It's awesome plot. It's also just nice to see Crosshair and Omega finally escape Mount Tantus. Season as a whole, right now, if I had to give it like an overall grade, I'd probably give it about a 7.5 out of 10. There's a lot to love here, but again, this isn't the best that Star Wars has ever been. Now, we're going to get even cooler things later on in the season, like Turn of Asajj Ventress, so hopefully that will kind of make this season even better. But it's kind of on par with the other two Bad Batch seasons, so I'm not really going to worry too much about it. This is still pretty good storytelling from Star Wars, and I love to see it. I hope you all enjoyed the review. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment down below your thoughts on the Bad Batch season 3, episodes 1 through 3, and like, subscribe. Did I already say that? I think I did. Share this video with everybody you know. Thanks. I love you all. Peace.